All right, so we got a new Morph video, so we got to watch that. It's on a hover bike for new players. What does that mean? That's weird. So this one is from Morphologist. Let's go ahead and copy the link, put it in chat from you guys. But what does a hover bike for new players even mean? Let's see. Morph's usually got pretty informed and making sense of himself, but the title doesn't make sense to me.
Engines offline.
Does it fit in the back of this? It must. No? Okay.
There's something magical about being able to step off my starship into the twilight evening of microtech to go
Morph's intros are getting crazier every time.
grab a ground vehicle.
I can't help but laugh.
It's a simple action, but the way you go about doing it in Star Citizen is important for myself, as somebody who loves an immersive science fiction experience in my game. And it's a feeling I can't get anywhere else. So then you may understand why it has always bothered me just a little bit that pretty much all the starter vehicles we have can't load any vehicles safely right now to allow new players to experience ground exploration.
That's what the title's all about.
Like players who own larger ships, who've been playing for a while or have made a larger contribution on the website. Which is why I was pleasantly surprised to learn that the new Consolidated Outlands hoverbike is actually made to fit very comfortably inside a Titan Avenger, which is my #1 recommended starter ship and a ship that many of you may already have. So in this video, I'm going to introduce you guys to this new
Wait a second. Did his head not just clip through the damn thing, though?
hoverbike, which may soon occupy your cargo bay of your Titan. That way you can decide whether or not it's
That
for
does
you.
not look
But I also
comfortable,
wanted to
Morph.
show the use of it in a little bit more of a complete way to kind of show you
Morph, show getting out of this thing without clipping around like it's crazy.
more of the subtleties of Star Citizen and the experience that you can have with a ground vehicle like this. But before you rush to the website and pledge for real money for one of these things, keep in mind that this will probably be available in-game in about 1 or 2 patches for around a mission or two's worth of effort. So you may want to hold off for just a bit. And as always, if you think I did a good job by the end and you think I deserve it, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe
now you gotta show walking
button
around
to
it.
show your support. To be frank, when I first saw this thing, I wasn't super impressed by its design. I felt like it was kind of a little bit strange, especially for Consolidated Outlands. But then I remembered that they also designed the Nomad recently, and if you look at that ship, you'll see a lot of design cues in common with the hoverbike. Notice the inlets,
It's like the Mustang is not Consolidated Outland, right? It's just like this extra side thing.
Shape language where it's very angular and wide. Even the landing gear is actually the same sort of language as the hover landing gear, which made its first appearance on the Nomad. And at the time I thought it was a bit of a strange choice. But now that there's a second ship utilizing this feature, it seems to make a little bit more sense. And it certainly seems to me that CIG is establishing a whole new design language for Consolidated Outlands, which will likely apply to bigger ships going into the future, like the Pioneer, which is a base builder that we have yet to see in game. One of the great things about this thing, though, is that those little pods that contain the hover gear actually retract when in a parked position, allowing you to get even more space when you land in something like an Avenger Titan. This makes it fit pretty comfortably, allowing you to go around it. One of the other really cool things about this newer hoverbike is that it's actually using a lot of the new stuff that they've been adding on to the newest ships, like accessible power plants and coolers that can later be maintained or replaced by hand. But even better and more useful is that it has an accessible storage container that you can drop stuff into. That means that this is actually useful for collecting items in places like
Cries in Drake Dragonfly, by the way. Cries in Drake Dragonfly. Aren't you supposed to be able to put a box on the back of a Drake Dragonfly?
like bunkers, where you'll probably have a lot of loot. I should note though here, for those of you who are unfamiliar, that eventually every ship in Star Citizen, including the existing hoverbikes, will have these features. It's just that newer ships tend to get them earlier as they proceed through Star Citizen's development. One thing I particularly like about this design though is how big and easy to read the MFDs are, especially that radar. If eventually radar is able to help you discover unseen objects, this may be an excellent little exploration hovercraft. One thing I was disappointed to learn though is that there are no gun racks on this thing anywhere. Doesn't mean that you can't store weapons inside the storage, you certainly can. It's just, it would have been cool to actually have a gun rack mounted on the exterior so you can actually see it and grab it.
But like, what is the theme of it? Is it more like a recreational vehicle in some way? Will we race with it? It looks like a snowmobile, right? So I don't know.
Just a lot more interactive and immersive in my opinion. But now let's put this thing to use. And as I said earlier in the video, it's going to be a little bit more of a complete experience.
Dude, Morph,
I'll cut out some of the bits you've probably seen before in other videos, but I want the immersive experience to really sink in.
It's on your back.
So let's go and get our mission here to do a bunker mission where I think this thing will actually be pretty useful for new players. And go ahead and grab some loot. Alright, so I've just warped in now to the data center where I need to go and help defend the occupants and get rid of some pirates. Going through some pretty heavy cloud cover here, though, makes it so I can't get a really clear view of what's ahead. Whether or not there are any pirates above it that I need to fight, or if there are any turrets I need to worry about. Now, for a lot of you guys who are new to Star Citizen, a lot of these bunkers actually have ground defenses, and every patch sees them being a little bit more formidable. 316 saw them do something to the prediction of turrets, making them also a bit more deadly, so I'm going to be cautious.
Just strafe right.
It doesn't look like there are any turrets here to shoot at me, so I'm gonna just land on the opposite side of this mountain and come in just to be safe. Better safe than sorry, right? Don't want to be stranded out here and have to rely on somebody to pick me up. Now that I'm here, though, I actually recall that I think that these missions, the ones where you have to go defend the bunker, don't actually have hostile turrets. It's only the ones where you have to kill pirates or assassinate pirates or something like that for the bounty hunting missions. So, yeah, keep that in mind. However, I think if you are a pirate...
I was going to correct him. I'm glad he corrected himself.
This will probably be way more useful for you because pretty much every bunker is going to be hostile to you, especially the ones where you can go clear your crime stat. So this may be a really good crime stat clearing vehicle. For new players, that is.
Systems enabled.
Oof.
Like a glove.
Yeah, you gotta be real cautious coming out. You still hit your head a bit. I hope they adjust the hover height just a little bit more so that we can get closer to the ground, but you can clear it if you're careful. But
holy
the
shit.
hover tech won't let me slam into the ground, so we're good. Let's find a good place to park.
Now, the one thing I hope he addresses, which I saw somebody losing their mind on Spectrum, is the signature of these is massively high, right? It's like spaceship level high. So you're not going in stealthy in this thing.
Looks like the security has killed most of them. Oh, there's one. Doing a little bit of a laggy jig there. No problem. This 45
I gotta say, Morph's aim in this video is much better than the last one we watched.
is pretty dang good at dropping people.
Remember when he painted
pistol,
the outline of the guy?
Oh, here comes one. Left, right, going to the back. Oh, my aim is so amazing.
He's conscious of it.
He's shooting back. Alright, so tick right on the server ain't too bad. Oh, there's two of them shooting at me. Uh-oh. Quickly. Alright, stop the bleeding, and it looks like the mission's over. Well, alright. That was easy. Time to get some loot. What do we got here? A loot box. Alright, some fruit. Oh, and some pistols. And this new bearing sight. I love this thing. These 1, 2, and 3 times sights, you can only get them in these loot boxes, and they are amazing. They have great picture.
Can't you buy them?
Sight picture.
Or
Let's
those
hunt around
specific
for a few
bearing
more, and we'll
ones?
get out of here.
I don't know about that. If that's true, that's pretty cool.
Let's test out this new storage container, shall we? Pop it open and drag and drop. Just
I like
that
this,
easy.
like, let's play morphologist right now. I'm liking this.
All right, it's all loaded up, and now we can head on over
Nope,
back
not
to the
those ones.
Titan.
Awesome. I didn't know that. Learn something new every day.
Systems enabled.
And get some air here. Get a little bit lower to the ground, and oh, good. Don't slow down too much. Here we go. Woo! It's
Don't
fun to
hit
get
the
some air in
trees.
this thing. It's also pretty controllable, so you can make sure you don't hit a tree or something when you come down, because you can still die from hitting trees and rocks. Got to be careful with that. One other tip I'll give you here about loading this thing up into a Titan is that you want to be on as flat terrain as possible and get the ship as low as possible before you drive up onto the ramp, or you will hit your head. Even on the lowest setting right now, you still seem to hit your head just a little bit. I tried going into a Titan earlier on uneven terrain, and well, I kind of exploded. I also tried backing up, so maybe don't do that either.
I'm not fully convinced that this thing fits in there, though. That's the only thing. I get what he's saying, it fits now. I have a funny feeling like the head clipping thing
Look, I'm not going to deny that Star Citizen's physics can still be kind of jank, but
may
they're
not
getting better,
work
slowly.
in the long term.
So anyway, guys,
but
I hope you enjoyed the video and this little bit of a
I
gameplay
like the
experience
video.
tacked onto the review. It's
Yeah.
ultimately not a very big ship to review, so I thought it'd be fun to see it in action to give you a better idea of how it performs.
I thought the
That's
little
it for
Let's
now.
Play thing was cool.
I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, Morph. That was neat. I enjoyed that. Now, I don't know how I feel about the hover bike yet. I just think in general, hover bikes have no purpose. I also think that if the turret was hostile, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, if the turret was hostile, it would still shoot at you if you were in the hover bike. Because hover bikes are considered ships. But if you went in a ground vehicle with wheels, like a Ursa rover, then you wouldn't. So even then, it's not like you're flying under AA cover, you know? So I think Star Citizen has a lot to do to make hover bikes more worth. The signature issue is a big thing as well, so we'll have to see. I think it's cool. It goes really fast. It seems fun. I could see racing at some point with this thing, but yeah, for right now, I just look at it and go, okay, you know, whatever. A hover bike, another useless feature thing added to the game that has no point. Again, let's start making those features matter, and then this stuff might seem as cool as it probably should be, right? So who knows? But I enjoyed it. Thanks for the video, Morph. And again, a little feedback for Morph on his video. I liked the little Let's Play thing. It was pretty neat. So thanks again.